Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Midweek Mix-Up. We are several short, but that is not a bad thing. We've still got an awesome guest here today with Crazy Louie Gaming jumping in on the fly, saving the day there to make sure we have an awesome podcast. Of course, welcome back, everybody. Start a little bit later on than usual. Unfortunately, Xbox Mick, did have a power outage, which he still has right now, which is why he's not joining us today. Boxenberger is on another holiday, so he's not here today. So there we go. All is good, however. All is good. It might be a short and sweet program today, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. Let's get into the intros. First and foremost, Patio, how you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm doing actually pretty good. Been quite busy with work, so that's most of the that's like basically what we always do. But yeah, been playing a lot of Battlefield lately since I got it last week. So enjoying that game with you, Dutch, of course, and with some other guys. Um, and as since we are talking about the Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
like a few weeks ago, I started again just to continue the story. And how good is it now that there's the DLC coming out? So I cannot wait for that. But
Yes.
yeah,
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Next up, Crazy Louie. How are you doing today, sir? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Oh, me? What I've been up to? Oh man, I've been just working, lots of stress, but everything good. What I've been playing? I've been playing Terminator Resistance. Finally beat it. Great game. If anybody has not played it, really, really good game. I highly recommend it. Two thumbs up. Love the story about it. Awesome, fantastic game. And I am doing pretty good and pretty excited on this episode, man. And happy to join you all today.
nice.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Awesome stuff.
Yep.
You see, we were talking about Terminator before you jumped in, actually. None of us have played it, but we have noticed you've been playing a lot of it. So how is that game in comparison? Because obviously they haven't made a really great Terminator for quite a while, and there is a new Terminator getting made. So how is this game, and would you recommend people playing it?
Yes, I would. I mean, I just love the story. The way the story is told is amazing. I mean, it's just like an add-on to, the whole Kyle Reese story and stuff like that that happens in the game. But I don't want to keep on adding spoilers to it, but it's really fun. If I don't know if you guys have played before Terminator Future Shock back in the day. You guys ever played that?
No.
No,
No, not yet.
no.
Not
It's
played many Terminator games, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's an old game. That's like a '90s game. I mean, I played it. It was for me. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's pretty much like Terminator Future Shock, and Terminators are tough. I mean, they're not easy. Like hey, let me go jump in the middle and shoot them. Nah, they take a lot of bullets. So yeah,
Yeah.
and if they spot you, they do come after you. I mean, they are on top of you and they don't let you go. It's a lot of fun, lots of stuff to do on the game, and the story, man. Wow, I just don't want to talk about it much because damn, it's amazing. I loved it.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's recommended
Nice.
then, yeah?
Yeah, really recommended. Yep. If you're a Terminator fan, go for it.
Awesome.
Really good
Awesome.
game.
And last but not least, the General C. How are you doing today, sir? What have you been
Hello.
up to?
Yep, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I've been going on about trying Destiny 2 out again multiple weeks on this podcast, and I finally caved. Reinstalled it today. Not bad actually. Didn't buy any of the most recent DLCs yet. Probably won't for a little while. There's a lot of like free to play content there. Just gonna go through that, see how I feel afterwards, and maybe get I think the recent one was called Witch Queen or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably picked that up for cheap. Got the new one coming out, which is very appealing to me. It's very cyberpunk esque, and that's kind of what's piqued my interest to jump back into Destiny. So maybe I'll stick with it this time. Who knows? Maybe not. Sea of Thieves yesterday with the group on Sea of Tuesdays. Also played some free game on Xbox called Space Science Investigation. It's like a NASA game
Okay.
where you float around the International Space Station. Easy 1,000 gamer score for anyone. You can do it within 30 minutes, but it's actually very, very informational. If you're into that sort of science fiction, science fact, and all that stuff, you'll love that. There's actually a little UFO Easter egg in the game as well, which was pretty funny.
Mm.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Oh yeah, and Gears of War Judgment.
Yeah, you've been
Finally
playing
got
a
down
lot
to
of
the
Gears
worst.
recently. You've been playing a lot of Gears recently.
Yeah, I'm in an R in about replaying Judgment. It's the worst Gears of War game.
Yeah, it is, yes.
But if you're going through Gears, you've got to go through.
Have you
the
played
worst
through?
one as
Have you
well.
played Gears Tactics? Because if you haven't, you need to.
I've played most of Gears Tactics, and it's a good game. I'm just not really into those.
Neither am I,
RTS
but I think
type
the
games, to
story's
be
good
honest.
for it.
Hmm.
Because it's set
Yeah, the
before.
story is great.
Yeah, it's set before
It's
Marcus
set-
Phoenix, isn't it?
It's set on Emergence Day, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played most of that. I should continue it. I'll get round to it at some point after I've continued the rest of the Gears games. I mean, I started 5, but then thought maybe I should go back and do Judgment before I go any
Just to
further.
get it done. Just to
just to
just
get
do
it out
it.
of the way and not end me playing all the Gears games on a sour note.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm playing that with Berserker this Jordan on Twitter for all of yous that know who Berserker this is. Yeah, I kind of forced him into playing Judgment with me, so he's suffering alongside me.
Fair one. Fair one. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We need to be
And
fair.
you
We need to
guys-
get a multiplayer game of Gears set up. I think I used to love playing 2v2s and 4v4s on Gears as multiplayer. So I think a community night on Gears would be hilarious.
5v5 team snipers would be chaos and
It would be.
hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
Hmm.
I'd do that. I'd be up for that.
100%.
But yeah, today we have got a numerous amount of topics, but they're all little nice and bite-sized, and thankfully we've got a bite-sized panel, so we'll get through them pretty easily, and I think it'll be, I think, decent topics, to be fair. We're not going to have any negative topics today. There's all pretty positive stuff. So we had the awesome announcement, of course, that Cyberpunk is getting its first major DLC, and that is, of course, the Phantom Liberty DLC, which looks absolutely awesome. The news also followed by the fact that Phantom Liberty is going to be current gen only. They are ditching the previous generation for this, which is so much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what the game needed anyway. Like, there is no way they can get the best out of that game by still holding on to the previous gen. Absolutely no chance. So massively looking forward to that. I loved Cyberpunk when it came out. Finished it. I thankfully didn't have major bugs that stopped me from enjoying the game at all. There was a few normal ones, the type of stuff you'll find in GTA with like cars in the floor and things like that, but nothing that stopped us progressing. We also had the news, of course, that they have the performance mode for Xbox Series S announced as well, which is huge. Of course, they've been working on that for a while. It is their most requested feature, and now it is available today, as well as cross progression with any system. So if you play it on PC, if you play it on PlayStation or Xbox, whatever it is, you'll be able to take your save onto any platform, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Another bit of news as well we're going to be going through is the awesome little announcement, but cool nonetheless. The Elite Series 2 is going into design labs for holiday this year, which is obviously an awesome thing. However, it does look very limited so far, but we'll wait and see what additional things you'll be able to do other than just have different shell colors when it comes closer to the time. What else? Oh, yes, of course. On Friday this week, we will be covering the Disney Marvel Games Showcase. Of course, today we're going to be giving our final thoughts and hopes and dreams for the Disney Showcase on Friday. There's going to be a lot shown off there. It looks absolutely awesome. We have another little topic as well, and that is Jeff Keighley. The Game Awards put a little weird tweet out, but it does sound like it could lead to something because it was out the blue and nobody's mentioned it. Which game would you like to see developed, or which game would you like to see developed by ID Tech Next, which are the guys, of course, that create Doom, etc. So which game would you like to see from id Tech next? I don't know why they put that post up, because no one was mentioning id Tech up until then. So do we wonder if something is going to be announced at the Game Awards from id Tech? And
Highly likely.
yeah.
Highly likely.
Yes.
It's a bit strange how that comes out of nowhere, right? So
Yes.
he's getting the hype flowing there. Like the Game Awards is really just around the corner. It'll be in a blink of an eye.
Of course.
We probably could get the next Doom or Wolfenstein. Is that
Yep.
the way it's pronounced, right? Yep.
And speaking of Doom,
Machine
had-
games though, isn't it, that do well.
yes,
Wolfenstein.
quite a few.
I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Box and Burgers.
Quake
kill
as
me
well.
for that.
Quake as well. Quake is huge. But another,
Quake too.
speaking of Doom, we had the awesome announcement this week as well, and this is was going to be a sleeper hit, but people, if you haven't already played it, you need to play the demo before it comes out next week. Metal Hellsinger dropping day one on Xbox Game Pass and PC and console, which is absolutely huge. I don't know why people have slept on that if they haven't already played it. It is absolutely insane. The music is next level.
Whole lot of fun.
The combat is so fun. The fact that it has a leaderboard where you can go up against each other and try and beat each other's scores afterwards, it's just so fun. Really entertaining. It's a weird mix between, especially if you get to the boss fights, it's a weird mix between like a Metroidvania and a bullet hell, as well as like Doom-esque and a rhythm shooter at the same time. They've got such an awesome mix in there, and it's so fun to play, and it's really addictive. And I said, Jen's mentioned this a few times, but you play it and then you get your high score, and then you know you can do better because you think, I was just off on the timing. So if I get the timing right a little bit better, then I'll get a higher score and I'll get a bigger multiplier. And they've got another little
You
thing
get
on the
better and better at
multiplier.
the game, you just want to beat your
Oh, you just want to
scores
keep
and you
beating
wanna
your
beat
score.
friends' scores.
But they've got an awesome little thing in it as well, where essentially if you continue to hit on the beat and your multiplier keeps up, that's when the vocals for the song come on. And if you lose
Okay.
your multiplier, then the vocals go really dim in the background and you can't hear them. And the more you get your multiplier back up again, the vocals start coming back through again. It's just sounds absolutely awesome.
So basically,
so
this game
satisfying.
this game really hypes you up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
To
You'll see
Okay.
when you've got your especially if you've got your headphones on, it's like
Yep, definitely got to have headphones on. And then
Yeah.
once you hit that rhythm, it's so satisfying. It's
Yeah.
a blast. I can't wait to play the full game.
I haven't tried it because that's why. Because when I see games like that, I tell myself like, hey, let me wait a bit till the game comes out. Because if I try it, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna get anxious and go crazy. Like, when's it gonna come out? So
But
yeah,
I've-
I'm just waiting.
you know what it is,
And the
I've
fact that they've
seen
got a lot of big names.
loads of big names, yeah. Like System of a
loads
Down's
of
lead
big
singer
names
and
from, like,
everything.
heavy metal.
Yeah, it's insane. But it's I've seen like streams of people as well where they've been playing it, like big streamers have been playing the game, and they've got like 35 million points at the end, and they've only been hit once through doing like in the entire demo, and I'm like, that guy's played that a lot, but you could see how hyped he was, and he was like, what? And it was
Fuel, not even once.
yeah. I was like,
G-Few, not even once.
not even once, yeah. If the guy, to be fair to the guy as well, like, he got all the way to the end and he was against the boss, and it was just one of them bullet things. He literally jumped to jump over it, and it caught him when he was landing. And he was like, oh, but he didn't. He still had like 35 million points or something like that. It was ridiculous. And here's me thinking I was cool on like 5 million points. I was like, that was good. That was a good round. The guy's like smashing me a bit.
I can agree with that. me at my 5 million points as well, being like, yep, totally nailed it. And then you go look at the leaderboard and you're like, didn't do as good as I thought I did.
Oh, but it's absolutely awesome. And you know what it is? Like I say, for me, this is a really big get for Game Pass. Like after the plaudits they got at Gamescom as well, they got like 5 or 6 awards off the belt. Most anticipated PC game, most anticipated shooter and action shooter. I think it was. It was huge. Like so many awards across the board. They did a massive live event at Gamescom where they had all the bands and musicians doing a live metal concert at Gamescom. So to me, it sounds like it's a massive get for Xbox, but also I don't know who's winning like more in this situation. I don't know whether the developers are winning big because they're on Xbox Game Pass, or Xbox are winning
Yep.
because they've managed to get Metal Hellsinger, which looks like it's going to be an absolute massive hit.
100% win-win for
So-
both
so-
of them.
so I-
It's
so-
only going to do numbers even more. The
Yeah.
fact that it's in Game Pass.
100%.
So I got a question for you all. Is this game gonna be a competition to Doom 2?
Oh,
don't know.
100%.
Oh, good. Now that I like.
Yeah.
100%.
But
Like,
that has everything to do with like what Dutch says, with the music,
Yeah.
the vocals and stuff that hypes you up when you get the
No.
multiplier and stuff. So yeah.
No,
Who
I'm just
knows?
saying. I'm just saying the way it plays, because Doom, when Doom Eternal came out, which for me, I always call it like the Dark Souls of Doom games, because I mean that Doom Eternal was hard.
yeah.
Was really freaking hard, and when you're in the middle of the match, like you have to like keep on moving, because if you stop for like a second to breathe, all of a
Mhm.
sudden you get like 10
It's-
monsters at you and beat
It's
you up and kill
exactly
you.
the same.
It's exactly like that, but you've got to keep
Good.
the rhythm of the music going. Otherwise, your
Good.
score will deplete.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, so that
And you
means
pick up
gotta
and you pick
wear-
up loads of different weapons at the same time, and they've all got different power weapons. So you can get like two
Oh.
revolvers. You fire it to the beat with two
I love
revolvers
them
like
two
that, or you can
revolvers, they're
or you can just hack and slash them with a sword, or you can use a shotgun or a machine gun, whatever it is. But you've got to try and do it to the beat, because the more you do it to the beat, the vocals start kicking in. You get multipliers are higher. It's just so much fun, but it's so addictive. Like, I can't underestimate how addictive that game is when you start to rack it up. But it gets so busy as well. Like, you can't stand still, because they'll just keep spawning and spawning and spawning and spawning and then overflow you. So yeah,
There's a lot of
That's-
enemy variety as well. So
So that means, people, you gotta wear light clothes, because the game is gonna make you sweat like Doom does, because Doom really makes me sweat. I had the AC on and everything, and that game with the stress.
you'll be
It was like doing
you'll be struggling not
exercise.
to headbang on this one as well. Like, Doom Eternal has an amazing soundtrack. Like, Doom's soundtrack is still one of my favorite video game soundtracks. Like, both 2016, I think it was, and Eternal, both of those had
The be-
unbelievable soundtracks. But-
For me, that's one of the best intros in all of Doom games. The first one, how it begins, when the speaker's talking to him and he just
Yeah.
smashes it. Oh man, it's insane.
And
Oh.
of course on this as well, which is an even bigger bonus for streamers, and for those who have watched me, I've mentioned this a few times now, but for streamers, all of the music, even though it's made by some of the best metal guitarists and metal vocalists in the industry, all of the music is completely free to use without any copyright strikes on any platform, so it is perfect for streamers.
Yep.
They've made sure
That's a
that
good
it's like
thing.
that, so everybody can just crank the music up, really get into it, and no one will get flagged. So,
that's good. That is good.
unbelievable.
I'll
So
be streaming a bit of this. For
I
sure.
was already hyped for this game. Like, I was like, this was one of my most anticipated. Like, Callisto, Metal Hellsinger, and High on Life are my three most anticipated this year, and two of those are in Game Pass now. So I'm like, woo, even better. Can't wait. So, and that's
Yeah.
next week. Next,
And
it
go
comes
grab
out on the 16th, which is Friday next week. So next weekend, you know what I'm going to be doing.
Hey, but is it a single player, or can you also do multiplayer?
It's single player, but it's
Okay.
single player with the scoreboard specifically, so everyone can go against each other and
Definitely got a competitive
Yeah.
element to it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
You imagine that game having a multiplayer? Oh dear Lord!
Oh god,
You
yeah,
have to get jam to the metal. Oh man, it's gonna be...
yeah.
Oh dear Lord, just believe in that.
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. But yes, hats off to both Metal Hellsinger and Xbox, because this is a win-win situation. I think these are both winning massively in this one. Of course, Metal Hellsinger
Word of mouth
obviously.
is going to do justice for this game.
Oh, 100%. But I think it's also, to them, it must have been a lucrative package, because there was, I have no doubt they would have had countless offers after people have played this and seen this game to go onto the services or be exclusive for a time, etc. So they've obviously took something that's benefiting them, and I would imagine Xbox have rewarded that significantly. So, yes, what an awesome start of the week that was when I seen that announcement. I was like, I can't believe this.
Yep.
But yes, next up for the awesome news this week, of course, is the new Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, which is coming out in 2023. It is a major DLC, a whole new story. Of course, you are still V. Keanu Reeves is not returning for the DLC. It is just, yeah, he's not returning for the DLC. But it still looks awesome. For those of you who have not seen the trailer yet, the trailer is up on all channels now to watch. But it's what an awesome looking DLC that is, and it's thankfully, as mentioned before, it's only going to be current gen and PC only. So Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC. And Stadia as well.
I didn't get to watch the entire event. I only saw the trailer.
Yeah.
But it appeared to me like this game's had a significant graphics update.
Oh yeah, significant.
Yes.
That's the power of only having current gen now.
So
Yeah, because they can more focus on like the next gen or
Yeah.
like this generation instead of like also focusing on the previous gen.
Yeah.
So they can spend more time and make it much better. Because like I told before, I jumped back into Cyberpunk a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But basically, since I own the game, I never had any like freaking weird bugs that you saw like in the beginning. So
Yeah.
like probably with the update before, they already did a good job. And yeah, who knows what's gonna happen next year when the DLC comes out?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
even gonna be better.
100%. And thanks to Marion in the chat, of course, who is our resident CD Projekt Reg aficionado. He knows pretty much everyone that works there, speaks to them daily. But he's just corrected that actually after false reports stated Keanu Reeves is going to be in the DLC. And there's also Edge Runner DLC, which is also coming out for free as well. And I think that's out now. Along with patch
That DLC
1.6
ties in with the
anime,
that's coming
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
wait, there's an anime of
Yes, Edge Runners.
Yeah, it comes out
Cyberpunk
this month,
Edge
if
Runner.
I'm
It's
correct.
Netflix.
Mm.
It looks awesome, by the way, and it's an 18. So it's going to be gory as hell.
if Netflix is doing it, it's gonna be good. I mean, the Castlevania anime they did. Ooh, man,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not much into anime, but I'll end up giving it a watch because I really enjoyed Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, as mentioned, the Series S with patch 1.6 as well got a performance option now. So the Series S now can run at a locked 60 instead of just 1080p 30. So that is, again, awesome work by the team at CDPR. Of course, granted, they had a really rough launch, but it is awesome to see them ploughing through. They've just kept their heads down. They've not said anything, and now out the blue, and to me unexpectedly, because I just wasn't thinking about DLC for Cyberpunk, to be honest, they've announced this huge new DLC, which looks really interesting. It looks like you're some kind of detective now. It seems like you're pledging allegiance to someone. If you watch the trailer, he pledges allegiance to not a corporation. He pledges allegiance to some kind of organization.
All I'm hoping for is that it's Judge Dredd-esque, and I'll be all in.
Oh God,
all
yeah.
in.
Yeah. But yes, Pat, I know you briefly seen the news before we started because you didn't know until I advised you and you'd watched the trailer. But what do you make of this?
Well, as so far as I can see, it's for sure it's gonna be a huge DLC. If you already see what I saw, like Jen says, I already only saw the trailer, not the whole 10-minute showcase. But yeah, it looks really interesting. Like if you know how the game is and looks, then you know that this is gonna be some crazy, epic, big, huge update and a whole new story. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it since I've been playing again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
nice.
In fact, I'll ask your opinion as well. You've been playing the game. It was for the first time not too long ago. What have you made about Cyberpunk since you've been playing it? Because I know you picked it up pretty late. You're pretty cheap afterwards.
Mhm.
What have you made
Yeah.
of it since you've been starting to play it? Have you been enjoying it? What have you noticed of it?
Oh, hell yeah. I really like the story behind it. Uh, like normally what I have with a huge game like Assassin's Creed, I get really quickly distracted and go for side missions and stuff. With this game, I don't have that. I wanna uh, be playing the main story, and it's so interesting. Like the things that you need to do, it's yeah, it's ridiculous. I really like it, and um, like I think when it launched it, when you guys played it, it actually when you have like people that you kill, they don't come back in the game, you know. So
Yeah.
and that makes the whole story different. So that's one thing I really like about it.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
thing I will say as well
It's-
for yourself, and you might not know this already, but Cyberpunk, depending on what you start in, what faction you went, whether it was Nomad or Street Kid or Corpo, each one of those has 2 endings, and there's also 2 other additional secret endings. So I think there's something like 8 or 9 endings in total to the game, and they're all different. They're all massively different
Okay.
to each other. Um,
I need to check which side I choose because I couldn't remember what I.
all completely different, yeah, which is absolutely awesome. Again, it gives so many different playthrough varieties. But what I will say for yourself as well, because I know you want to go straight down the center and go and play the story because it's that interesting. But this
Yeah.
is unlike a lot of open world games. This is the only game where I've played for quite a long time where the side missions feed into the single player mission, and it feels like it's part of the single player without it being like separate. Like you'll go and do something, you'll go to a random side mission, and then all of a sudden it's like completely interlinked into the main story, and you're like, how did that? Like this has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm doing, but now it's got everything to do with what I'm doing. Like it works so well.
That's what I loved about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
The side missions didn't feel like side missions. Like, you know, you got your typical Assassin's Creed side missions, which is like go and pick up this thing and take it over here, and it has nothing to do with the main story whatsoever, and it just feels like unnecessary fluff.
Yeah,
And that's what you don't get with Cyberpunk. Everything is its own thing, and it's all told
yeah.
really well.
I would
Side
say the
missions
only
are as important.
the only fluff that I noticed was getting back all of the AI cars. So the cars that are driving around, like all the taxis and things, and like, oh, go and get them back. That was the only thing I didn't bother to
I
do because I'm
agree
like,
with that, yeah.
I don't. That is literally just like little tiny side missions. But things like the street brawler events where you've got to go and take out the cyber psychos, they have an interlink to actual the main story. And then other little side quests, like the one that always sticks out in my mind is a guy that was done for murder. And he's going on TV to be crucified as his punishment on live TV. And this is all done through the TV network and like the prison system and everything. And you've got to go and talk to him, and he wants to talk to you before he kind of does this, and he wants to go and apologize to the family before he goes and crucifies himself. But you can choose whether or not to tell him no, just go to prison and do your time there, instead of like crucifying yourself. Like you don't need to do that. Like you can repent in prison and you can reform yourself. You can choose whether or not to do that or go through with the live crucifixion, which is weird.
Right.
But it's like so many wild stories that you can get in that game. It's unbelievable.
Even like the sometimes you have those cutscenes where you have to choose an answer on what people are saying to you, and even one sentence can make the whole story different.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting about the game, because sometimes it's really hard to choose what to say
Yeah.
to a character. Like, should I say this or this, you know? So, and then later on in the game, like you said, sometimes a side mission does have effect on the main story,
Yeah.
and that's noticeable in like the things that you said before, like an hour ago or something.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
But there's one thing that bothers me
Yeah.
about the game are the car physics, or the
Yeah,
like
a bit
driving.
like boats.
Yeah, So when you actually drive and you like use your handbrake or something, the whole car just goes like this, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. But yeah, that's
I always use the
so
motorbike.
far.
The motorbike is by far the best in the game. Like,
Yeah, yeah, same.
I don't bother using the cars. They don't feel right.
Some of the cars they drive fairly okay, but there's some that are like
The
sort of
I mean, the
driving a box
Porsche drives
truck or
okay, but you
something.
don't get the Porsche until like later on in the game. So you get obviously you get Keanu Reeves' Porsche, and you get that much further in the game. But that's a good car to drive. But
A lot
yeah,
of the vehicles are very much like driving a brick.
yep. Shopping trolleys.
Like Costco shopping trolleys, the ones with the wheels that don't rotate.
Oh dear mate, Crazy Louis, you played the game as well, brother.
Yes,
What did you make of the game, and what do you make of
Yep.
this awesome announcement for the DLC?
You know, I have not played the game, to be honest, though. Nope.
What?
What?
I haven't.
I
know.
thought you would have
How
been all over
dare
that
you.
game. That's a surprise. That's
Okay.
really
No, no,
surprising.
no, wait,
Louis.
wait,
I thought
wait,
you would have
wait,
been all
wait.
over that.
Wait a minute. I got a good story behind this because why I haven't played the game. Because, you know, when CD Projekt Red comes out with the game, I had a problem with Witcher a long time ago, but the save was the same thing. I lost like 30, I don't know how many hours of game I lost because of Witcher 3, of a save ever it had.
Yeah,
So when I heard Cyberpunk had a save ever, I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! I'm gonna stay away till they get fixed." So yeah, I heard since they got the new patches and everything, I was like, "Yeah, I'll wait after I beat whatever backlog I have left. I gotta beat. I mean, I gotta beat Dying Light 2 now, and I gotta beat what's it called, Horizon Forbidden West, and then right then and there, I'll jump into Cyberpunk. But yes, it's I have it right there just to play it because I love CD Projekt Red games, but when they come up with issues, you know, I'm like, whoa, save problems, I
Yeah.
stay away. I don't care about graphic glitches, none of that. That doesn't bother me. Because I mean, since I come from back in the day, I remember PlayStation 2 where there was a glitch you used to laugh about it and just reload the game and that's it.
yeah.
But you know, save problems I run away from. That's something I'm scared of.
I understand
yeah,
that, especially if you've got
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
100 hours of progress and then it just deletes everything.
Yeah.
Oh dear
You're like,
Lord. No, 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 no.
I
And
don't
I've-
even want to play this ever again.
No,
I was gonna say
I
I've
mean,
put
literally,
I've put at least 80 to 100 hours into Cyberpunk. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
To be fair, loved it. I haven't finished everything. There's so much left to do.
I mean, that happened to me with Witcher. And Witcher, like I had like probably 50 hours into it.
Yeah.
And I did a manual save that was in 30 hours. So one night I just played through it like 10 hours straight. Because it was a game that just had me so hooked up.
Yeah,
And I went 10 hours straight, and all of a sudden, like when it auto saved, it didn't want to load. I was like, oh man. I lasted a week just typing to CD Projekt Red. I was typing to, I was like, guys, when are you guys gonna fix this? And they said, hey, grab a manual save from back then and turn into it. And man, when I went back, it was like 20 hours behind. I was like, damn it. I
Wow.
was so mad. And you know, the progression level on Witcher is hard. I mean, for you to level up in Witcher, you gotta literally do a lot of stuff. And I was like, damn it, I gotta work on this again. And I said, I'm not gonna play it anymore. I'm just gonna leave it right there.
the only
Wait
the
till
only
game
problem
fixes
I
up.
had with Witcher, Louis, the only problem I had with
Yeah.
Witcher was I went like 30 to 40 hours into the game, and then I put it down for a couple of months, and then I tried to get back into it, and I just forgot everything. I was like, I don't know how
Yeah.
to make potions. I don't know how to
That's
craft.
exactly
I don't know
my
how to
issue with those
fight
types of games.
anymore. Like I just and
Yeah.
so then I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so I had to start again.
Yeah. So what I did was I put it down and then like a year or two later I went back to it and I beat it, but I wasn't really happy about it. I was like, you know, and when it came up with the Xbox One X upgrade, I was like, let me play a little bit.
Yeah.
But like 2 or 3 months later, since the whole Series X came out, they were announcing a patch or something. I don't know how many months later it came by. But when that was announced, I said, okay, you know what? Once the Series X patch comes up, I am going to play it. I'm gonna go back to Witcher 3 and redo it again and replay it because I know I'm gonna enjoy it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
and
you're gonna
save a lot.
You're gonna absolutely love Cyberpunk when you go through it. Like it's just such
Oh, I
such
can't
an
wait.
awesome
yeah.
world, and the different areas you can go to, and like so many buildings with so many different levels to explore, so many vibrant characters. You've got your upgrade tree, so you can kind of add different cybernetics to yourself. You can have praying, but like obviously the one thing I wanted was the praying mantis hands. So obviously I got them as soon as I could afford to get them and put them in. So you don't need swords anymore. You can just go around slicing people into bits with your arms.
Yeah, I recently unlocked that as well.
Oh.
Like I was going through my cyberware,
Yeah.
and out of nowhere I saw this like freaking things. I was like, wait, what? That's the one from the trailer. I said, yeah, I need that. Okay.
Yeah.
You
They
guys-
are
That thing is crazy.
they are brutal.
You-
They are brutal. You
You
just
guys are motivating me to buy it now.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. You got to play it. It's so good. Cyberpunk is amazing. The
worth
story is just
worth it all.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, man. It's nice.
such bullying, so much bullying.
No, it
And I
is
have the
awesome.
day one edition, so it comes with like the map,
Yeah.
and it has, I don't know, some kind of postcards in it. So that's pretty cool
Nice.
though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks absolutely awesome. General C, to yourself, brother. What do you make of this awesome DLC and obviously the announcement? Thankfully for Series S owners, they're getting 60 FPS.
From the trailer, it sounds as if you're being like sworn in as some sort of police officer, and that gives me Judge Dredd vibes. Absolutely love Judge Dredd. Not so much the Stallone movie. That one can get in the bin. But yeah, I love Judge Dredd. One of my favorite games of all time is Judge Dredd: Dredd versus Death.
Yeah.
Played that on the original Xbox. Recently replayed that on PC. Absolute great game. I've been itching for a Judge Dredd game, or a game that at least tries to replicate something similar. Hopefully this DLC does that, because I'll be all over it. I
Oh, wait.
absolutely love
Which
the
Judge
Mega
Dredd do
City
you
one.
want? Which Judge Dredd do you want? Do you want the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, or do you want the Dredd Judge Dredd?
Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd can get in the bin. Carl Urban Judge Dredd is the Judge Dredd.
I'm with you there. It comes out like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll be all over that. Yeah, the trailer looked amazing. Looks like the graphics are significantly improved,
Yes.
which is a big thing as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving back into Cyberpunk. I'll probably end up getting back into it a lot earlier, going through the story again, because I think it's about time I did do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Can't go wrong with more Cyberpunk.
No.
As long as it doesn't launch in a buggy condition.
I don't think it
Fingers
will now,
crossed.
you know. I think they
Fingers
not only have I
crossed.
think they've
I
learned
think
a
they learned
lesson.
a lesson.
Yeah. But
I think
but
they
Oh, yeah,
learned a
for
lesson,
sure.
and I hope they keep on learning it.
and the thing is that like I say,
Hopefully.
the best part about this though is the fact that they have dropped the previous generation. I think that it can only bode well for the DLC, because the reason the original game was so messed up was because they were trying so hard to make the game work on previous gen, and it just wouldn't. Like even with multiple patches, the game was barely at a stable 30 frames on previous gen. It just shouldn't. It's one of them games that should never have been made with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 in mind. Should never have happened. It was just too ambitious. It was just too ambitious.
Yeah, I was gonna ask a
Yeah,
question about that.
it was big ambitious project for the old
So-
hardware.
Because I try to keep away from spoilers. So it's basically a map of a big city.
It's
When you're in the
you've
game,
got
you got
a massive city. Then you've also got like a deserty outback area with huge wind
Right.
farms and things like that. And but pretty much all the buildings in Night City you can kind of explore to a point. It might be multiple like skyscrapers with multiple floors that you can go up and down. All of them have got different shops and people to speak to. The city's completely packed full of people. Like there is
And, like,
so
what
much
what
in
you
that
choose
game.
in the beginning sort of determines where you start.
wow.
As I can't remember what they're called. The group that are
so
out in the
the-
desert. You start
Nomads.
the game out in the desert if you choose that. Nomads, that's the one. Or Street Kid or Corpo. It determines like the starting point for you as well.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a game with a lot of detail. Really, really, it has
Very.
too much detail in it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes.
That's why. Oh man.
And they've got huge crowd
even-
density as well. Like it's not just like 2 or 3 people walk around the streets. Like there's literally hundreds of people in the streets. Like and they all bump into you
That's
and
all.
start talking to you and like all having their own personalities and conversations in the background and going about their business and it's wild.
Yeah.
You were going to
Yeah.
say something as well there,
And
Pat. Go on.
the characters also look really, really nice.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you have those kind of cutscenes that you have where you can also interact with the characters, like when you're talking to them,
Yeah.
and sometimes you get that close up of a character, and it's man, it looks so good. Sometimes I just watch for a moment, look around in a cutscene. That's also pretty weird though to do. Normally
Yeah.
you have this small movie going and stuff, but you can like actually look around, interact with the people and stuff. So yeah, it's
I was taking
better get it,
hundreds,
Louis.
hundreds of screenshots.
Yeah,
when,
you guys, I
my
mean,
first playthrough.
you guys are pushing me to it. I'm really thinking about leaving Dying Light behind and
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you'd regret it. I don't think Bernard Millard's got a good point, mind. He said there isn't hundreds of people on the last gen consoles. I said nope, definitely not. There's about 10 people on last
Let
gen.
me just one more thing.
Yeah.
I see Marion says Panem looks more than nice. I agree on that, Marion. I'm a huge fan of Panem.
Louis,
Yeah.
you have multiple love interests you can choose from, by the way, on Cyberpunk. Multiple love interests.
That you have multiple. What do you mean by
Love
that?
interests.
there's some
Around naked.
You
yeah.
can run around naked.
Yes.
What? Seriously? Oh, that's it.
He's sold already. He's sold. I should have
Yeah,
started
that's
with
it.
that.
Yeah, multiple people you can get with. You can, in fact, you can even, if you want to be, you can be like gay, if you want your characters to go down that route. Like even if you are female V, you can get with female Panam, or if you're male V, you can get with one of the male characters. It just works like that. But all these stories are intersynced, and you can essentially decide how that goes. So you can like be really mean to them and not like ignore their calls and not do all their side quests and things, or you can kind of not stretch the story out, but the story kind of starts to intermingle. So then later on down the line, the final decision will be with kind of the love interest. They'll either be there with you or they'll take part in that final section, depending on which route you go. If you don't, then I have no idea how that's going to end because I haven't tried that yet. But you don't have to have a love interest. You could just fuck them all off if you want.
Okay. Yeah. As long
There's
as I
a
get to
lot of
run
nudity
around,
in the game as well. So
as long as I get to run around naked, I'm happy. I'm all for it. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. Yeah.
like I said, I should have started with that. He would have been sold instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an insane game, and such, like I say, the level of detail they put into it. It was far too ambitious for previous generations. So, for me, it's just a huge relief, I think, from everybody that loves the game that they have dropped the previous consoles, because that's only going to benefit this DLC when it comes out. It's just going to be insane.
Yeah. I'm will it be like the DLC, like if you are in the main menu, you can choose the DLC or the main Cyberpunk game,
I
or
think
will it be?
Yeah, I think it might. I think it might be where you can choose to play the DLC with your character. It depends because I don't know how it would fit in unless it is just a side mission once you finish, or even before you finish the game. To be honest, because when you finish the game, essentially when you've got to the completion of it, your save is always at what is essentially the elevator. I'm not going to say any more than that, but there's an elevator before you start the final mission of the game.
Yeah, it's like the point of no return.
It's the point of no return for the game.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And it's an elevator,
But it
and
does-
even when you finish
It
the
does
game,
save there, right?
yeah, it saves there. Even when you finish the game and you load the game again, or it finishes the credits, you just load outside of the elevator. And essentially you can just do the second ending if you want to straight off the bat there. You can just go straight and do that. But yeah, it could just be a case of it's a side mission, you can go and do that, and kind of that's how the DLC starts. Or I don't know how because I know on Witcher you can choose to go in and play Blood and Wine or something like that separately, or just choose to play Blood and Wine. So it might be both. You never know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Okay.
It's going to be big though. I know that because CDPR
sure.
don't do short DLCs. They've never done short DLCs. Like Blood and Wine was like 20 odd 30 hours at least. For Witcher 3. So I'm expecting this to be about 20 odd.
Out where this
That
takes place in like story-wise timeline.
that is something that
That'd be
has me really
interesting.
excited for Witcher. I mean, all those DLCs. I got the Game of the Year edition, so I got all those DLCs jam packed in there. As soon as that drops off, that Game Pass drops off that upgrade, man, I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah,
Can't wait to play it.
100%. 100%. Next awesome topic we're going to get into here. Of course, like I said, on Friday, 9 p.m. UK, 10 p.m. in Europe. Pretty early on, I think 1 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Eastern or something. Maybe it's a little bit later on, actually. Maybe later than that in America. You have the Marvel and Disney Games Showcase on Friday. We will be doing a live stream and covering it. So, of course, all you awesome people, if you don't know where to find it, don't know where to watch it, we will be covering it. We'll be doing a live reaction. For the purposes, and I have mentioned this the other day as well, for the purposes of copyright strikes with Marvel specifically and Disney, we won't have the audio on there, so you'll just hear us. I might put some little background music in or something like that, low down, so at least it doesn't sound like it's just us talking when there's nothing else going on. But, of course, we have that showcase to look forward to. And, of course, it's the first Disney Marvel showcase that they've ever done. We know that there's going to be some awesome announcements there. But, of course, I want to get into what we hope to see as our final predictions and hopes for the showcase on Friday. First of all, I'm going to get to the General C. What are you hoping to see on Friday?
Most of all, I'm really hoping we see Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
I would hope that they start the show with that. Really hope. Because as someone that's just recently completed Jedi Fallen Order, I absolutely love that game. It's fresh on my mind. I'm ready for the next game in that series. Can't go wrong with more. Cal Kestis, brilliant character.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just want some big Marvel stuff. Hopefully that rumored Daredevil game is legitimate from Amy Hennig's studio.
Cross fingers.
We know
I
their
would
game's
love to
going to be
see that.
showcased there.
That's up
That's one
here.
thing we do know. Amy Hennig's game is definitely going to be there.
I would expect if it's a Daredevil game, they have some sort of eagle vision type thing where, you know, like obviously because Daredevil's blind, and he's got this ability to be able to see in like sonar.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do something with that.
A bit like the Witcher vision.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I expect that. You'd expect that with
Yeah.
with Daredevil. It's one of his powers. Make use of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to see that. Is it going to be an open world game or a linear game? It's going to be interesting. Other than that, just really anything Marvel, a Blade game. Maybe we see a little bit more of Spider-Man 2 here, but maybe not because obviously you know how Sony is. They probably want to show that off their own showcase.
I think they will, because this is gonna be a pretty huge showcase. I mean, since it's Disney and Marvel first showcase, so I think it would be interesting if they actually did show it there. You know.
Yeah. You'd expect it. I mean, Sony,
Yeah.
they don't actually own the rights to Spider-Man in game format, so maybe Marvel could say we want to show it here.
Yeah.
Because Sony only owned the rights to the movies, and that's it. Everything else, Spider-Man wires, merchandising, cartoon, Disney owned that. I'd expect to see we've all heard the rumors. There's a Mandalorian game in the works. I would expect to see that here. That would be something I would love to see. I absolutely love that TV series. It's brilliant. I can't wait for the next season of Mandalorian. I think the rumors are the 4th season is going to be the final season. Maybe the game continues that in a way.
It could be a whole new story. You never know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a separate Mandalorian. It could be really anything. I mean, there's rumors that that there's an MMO of that game. Not too sure how that's going to work out. Maybe they'll set that in. If you're familiar with Star Wars, you'll know that the Mandalorian Civil War could be set in that, the MMO, and you choose a Mandalorian faction to be a part of.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting to see a lot of IP, whether that be Star Wars, Marvel, a lot of the Fox properties that they now own. I mean, we could see a Predator game, really anything here, because Disney own a lot
That would be
that
nice.
people don't actually sit and think about. So it could be an
Yep.
Alien game.
Since they took over
Predator
Fox, they've
game.
got a lot.
AVP, Alien vs Predator. It's been a long time since we got an Alien vs Predator game.
Oh yeah, they've got Alien. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, they've got Alien as well.
I mean, we did recently just have Prey,
Yep.
Disney Plus movie and Hulu movie. Brilliant movie. If you haven't seen it, would highly recommend it.
Oh yes.
Maybe we get a Predator game here, and you're the poor person that's having to fight that Predator.
Yep.
But yeah, there's so much Disney owned. I could expect to see a lot here. I don't know exactly how long this showcase is rumored to be. It also falls around the time of D23, which is Disney's big thing they do every year, where they show off a lot of like their upcoming TV shows, movies, and really everything that they own. They sort of cover that here.
I'm hoping to see Loki in that, by the way. Loki series.
I'd expect to see
season 2.
something Loki wise. I mean, I wouldn't complain about a Loki video
A
game.
Loki game would be
I would
cool as well, to be fair.
love that.
I knew, Dutch, I knew you will say that name, Loki. I was waiting for it.
I mean, I'd be down to play as the God of Mischief.
Yeah.
It'd be a very interesting game.
It's been by far
They
my
could do
favorite.
that,
I was
like,
going to say it's been by far my favorite Disney
Okay.
series so far.
How can you
They
make a
could
Loki
do
game?
a Loki game like Hitman, where he disguises himself.
Yep.
He's got
Yeah.
that power in the MCU to disguise
Yeah, you can be
himself as
anybody he
someone
wants
else.
to be. Yeah.
I think that would be
how could
good.
It work though? How could they make a Loki game? Because he got the spear. He shit. Does he have strength?
Yep. Yep.
He's
Oh, he
got
does?
magic abilities.
He's
hasn't
got
he? So-
magic. He's got strength. He can turn
Okay.
into anybody he wants to.
Because I always saw like Thor used to beat him up a lot. I never saw like Loki like let me go through and pow.
Yeah, but you do have like the odd mention where Loki stabbed him or turned him into a frog.
Yeah.
So there's a
Okay.
lot that Loki can do magic wise, and I wouldn't argue with a Loki game. I'd love to play that.
Yeah. Yeah.
A Moon Knight game as well. Give me that. I'll be all over that. Just give me anything Marvel. I'll be
Give me
happy.
it all of it. Give me it all. Oh, dear me. Crazy Louis. What about yourself, brother?
Oh,
What are you
man.
hoping to see on Friday?
Whew, the Mando game. That's something that I'm really waiting for. Mandalorian game, and I think, and I'm hoping. I mean, I got my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that they will show a little bit, probably a teensy little bit of Indiana Jones, because I know Indiana Jones is part of. They
Lucasfilm.
could. They can't. What do you
Mhm.
think? You guys think that could happen?
That's a good one, Louis.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Because
something
we
I,
haven't seen a
Nothing
lot
yet.
of Indiana Jones. No.
yeah, that would
Could
be
see
going
a
on.
could see an unveiling trailer of it, a CG trailer. Don't expect to see anything other than that.
And you mentioned earlier Alien Predator. I mean, an AVP game, if they can bring it on again, please do, because it's highly missed. I love the Alien versus Predator games. They were really good. They were first person, loads of fun. What else? Mentioned Mandalorian, mentioned AVP.
Blade Runner. I think they own Blade Runner as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Blade Runner game?
A
Yeah, they
new
can
one,
make
yeah.
Blade Runner,
A
right?
new one would be cool.
If you didn't know, Blade Runner is actually set in the same universe as Alien.
Oh yeah, I knew that. They showed the was it a statue of the Prometheans? Was it the
Yeah.
Prometheans? And yeah, they showed a couple statues of that. I remember
There's some
that.
character files within the movies that pertain to them worlds being interlinked as well. So
You know, I gotta watch Blade Runner 2. That's another movie I have not watched either. I gotta
it's
sit
a
down
good
and
movie.
watch.
I'd recommend it. Not as good as the original because that's impossible,
Yeah.
but it's a good movie.
I'll watch them both. I'll watch them both. On the Marvel side of things, I mean, I would love to see, and I hope they do. Please bring me a Punisher game. I mean, really,
I would love that.
Yes.
we need a Punisher game. It's when was the last Punisher game? Was it on Xbox back when first?
Oh, God, it was a
Xbox
while
or
ago.
PlayStation
360
2?
maybe, or even one?
Good
Well,
while. no.
I think it's the old one, the OGs. You know, I remember that. It came out on PlayStation 2, and I played the heck out of that Punisher game. It was really good.
Yeah.
But yes, give me a Punisher game. You mentioned Blade. Daredevil, I can't wait. I hope they do show Daredevil because that's another game that would be incredible. And I hope that it's an open world game because Daredevil is such a cool character.
Yeah.
And it has such cool bad guys. I mean, you got Kingpin in there
Mm.
and Bullseye, those crazy stuff. Who else? Let me see out of the Marvel side. You know, a new
X-Men game.
yeah, a good X-Men game. Kind of like what was this game called that came for Marvel Ultimate Alliance? I hope they do mention the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but for every console, not just Nintendo, because the third one only came for Nintendo. So yeah, they could mention the
Mm.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is a really good franchise and really good games. What else? What else? What else? And I think that's about it for me. Yep. That's it.
Patchu, what about yourself, brother? What would you love to see on Friday?
Well, like Louis mentioned, Punisher. That would be so nice.
I'd love that as well.
I've back in the days, I've watched that series like multiple times, so that would be pretty cool.
I'll be happy
Um,
then, Pat, because it sounds like John Bernthald's coming back to reprise his role as the Punisher in a continuation series.
Oh, nice.
They're bringing,
That's
they're bringing the
awesome.
other characters
Yeah.
back. Daredevil's coming back. There's rumors that Jessica Jones is coming back as well. They're apparently recasting the guy who played Iron Fist because he's a bit of a dick in real life. So that doesn't surprise me. I think that's the only.
Yeah, I
character
didn't. I
that they
really, I
recast.
really didn't like him as a character for the series. No,
Didn't?
it.
I thought it was amazing.
I couldn't really get into it. Like, yeah, no, I
It is
didn't.
a slow
I
burn at
didn't watch
first,
it
but
all.
if you get to season 2, it gets proper brutal. Punisher series does
Okay,
proper brutal.
okay,
It's crazy. It's such a good season. The second season, way better than the first season.
okay. That is interesting. But of course, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy
I was
game.
just about to say that.
Maybe, who knows, the Defenders.
Yeah.
It's crossed.
That would be pretty cool. Like, you have 4 characters, same as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who knows? Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. That's
I was going to even
would be
say
interesting,
Guardians
yeah.
of the Galaxy 2 teaser. I think the
I would
first one
love
was
to see
absolutely
that.
awesome.
Maybe,
After
maybe.
playing the first one, I'd love to see that.
And the good thing about
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy is really they can make up any story they want because, again, they're just going off to fight more bad guys in some silly, wacky story that gets, like, and save the universe. And again, with the newest Thor Love and Thunder that's come out, of course, we know Thor has joined the Guardians. So could you bring Thor into the next Guardians of the Galaxy and make him one of these silly? Because obviously the both him and Star-Lord have got this awesome kind of bounce off each other in the films, and I think that would play really well in the game as well.
That's the beauty of the comics as well. There's been so many different Marvel heroes that have actually been a core part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They really could do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, with I think with Marvel they have so many like series that you see on Netflix or Disney Plus or stuff, like they can go anywhere with all different kind of games, but
Mhm.
yeah, like I said, Punisher would be cool. The Defenders, they were pretty nice. So yeah, who knows? But and I've always said it. Spider-Man would be cool on Xbox. But yeah, that's
You know,
Marvel
That's
do own it.
way
Go to
off, but-
Sony.
you know,
Contracts coming up.
Since you're talking about Spider-Man, I mean, they should make a Venom game. That would be a good game. And a Venom
would be
open
cool,
world
yeah.
game, that would be
Or just a
awesome.
symbiote game where like you
Yep.
sort of create your own symbiote and your character and
Give us a brand new
from there.
Deadpool.
Oh yes,
I wouldn't argue with
please.
that. I like the Deadpool game that
Deadpool,
came out
yes,
on the
please.
360.
And
Oh,
but also
man.
get Ryan Reynolds to reprise his role as Deadpool.
Yes,
He would do
yes.
that in a heartbeat.
Yes, please.
Do it.
He loves playing that character. He'd be back for that if they did it.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they're
definitely.
letting him do it's still an 18 rated, an R rated Deadpool for Deadpool 3 tells me that they would happily let him do an R-rated Deadpool game as well. Do it. It would sell so much if you've got all them involved. If you get a high-class studio involved to create that game with awesome combat, loads of blood and gore, a great story.
Who made the 360 game? Was it High Moon?
Might have been, yeah. High Moon Interactive.
Fox owns that. Well, we'll own that. So get them to do the sequel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, the previous Deadpool was
Yeah.
okay, but it wasn't as good as it can be. Let's face it, the Deadpool's games have never lived up to as good as they could be. But I think with what Ryan has done with the franchise has really brought the Deadpool back. And we know as well, thanks to little bits in Disney themselves and the way they're marketing Deadpool, is we know that Deadpool will be part of the Avengers in the next phases. They've already included him in Avengers Campus in Disneyland Paris and will be in Disney World. So when you go into Avengers Campus, there's the Deadpool logo there. So I know he's going to be part of the Avengers at some point or within that.
It's a significant part to the storyline of where they're heading with Secret Wars. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're gonna tone him down a lot when he's with the Avengers. He's not gonna swear. If he does swear, it'll be cut out. They'll bleep it or
It'll be like
stuff
fudge
like that.
or something ridiculous
He'll
instead.
change his words, or he'll look to the camera and acknowledge the camera and
Yep.
be like, "I
Yep.
can't swear in this movie," or something like that.
Yep, I can't imagine him doing that right now. I can imagine looking at the camera and say, "Hey, this is a PG-13 movie. I can't swear that much." You know, I can imagine him breaking the fourth wall and just saying that. You know,
Yep, and then like just as he's about to swear, it cuts to the next scene or something. He's like, "You
yeah.
beep,"
You
and
mother
straight off the
beep.
next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
And then,
I-
but of course, but we're only talking about Marvel, and with Disney, I saw that I see it right now, Dreamlight Valley of Disney coming to
Gamepass
Game
is out
Pass.
now. Yeah, it's out now.
Yeah. So, and then probably, who knows that they're gonna show some other maybe new games,
Star
maybe some older
Wars.
games coming to Game Pass. Star Wars, of course. So, yeah, who knows? And like Jen said, maybe a new Jedi game.
Yep.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes, yeah. Jedi Survivor. We all know it's
Jedi
existing.
Survivor. Yeah.
We all know
Or
it
just give me a
exists.
Sith
We
game
just want to
now.
see it
We've had
now.
a Jedi game. I want a Sith game now. Make
You
me
want
a
a
Sith
Sith game? No.
And for those who
No,
finished
Sith
Jedi
is
Fallen
cool.
Order, though, the ending, like we want to see what goes on in the next one. Like, how does it follow up from that ending? And of course, for those who haven't played it yet, you need to play it. Go and play it. It's a great game. It has
Yes, you do.
a Series X enhancement on it, so you need to play it now.
They need to do more with the actor that plays Cal. I can't remember his name in real life, but they need to do more in Star Wars with him as a character.
Yeah,
He's become a significant part. People loved him in the games. They obviously feature his lightsaber now in what's that Star Wars place called in Disney? World's Edge, is it, or something like
yes, yeah.
that? Yeah,
Galaxy's
they
Edge.
feature his lightsaber there. Galaxy's Edge, that's the one. But so it would make sense for them to do more with that character, expand his story further than the games.
Yeah. Yeah. A quick shout out to Fanto Sir, 7-month mix-up crew member. Thank you, sir. He says we need to see Rogue Squadron remasters. Of course, for those of you who played the originals, both on PC and otherwise, Rogue Squadron was awesome. They didn't really kind of go back to them after that. Of course, we had the most recent. Was it Rogue Squadron? That came out not too long ago. Was that called Rogue Squadron or?
I can't remember.
Rogue Squadron. Which one? The new Star Wars game. I think it was Rogue Squadron. Yeah, the one with the
Yeah, the new one.
spaceships. Let me check real quick.
That was just called Star Wars Squadrons, right, or something.
Oh, it
like
might
that.
be.
like
Yeah, it might
that.
just be Squadrons.
Yeah, Squadron, something like that. Let me check.
I'd like to see a long-awaited sequel to Republic Commando.
Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There's so much, like you say, that could bring up at this showcase. And to be fair, with Disney, we could end up seeing things that we hadn't expected. Of course,
Yeah.
you've also got to think Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yep.
That has been announced. We've had a little trailer for it. Do we get gameplay footage for it? The most likely place to show it would be at this event because it is the biggest kind of the biggest game that they do have currently outside of Star Wars and Spider-Man. But again, is the Kingdom Hearts franchise. That's obviously includes Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald, all of the villains, both on Final Fantasy side and on Kingdom Hearts on Disney side. They pretty much include everyone, and with an ever expanding roster of people included within Disney now, that only makes this game even bigger again. So,
Wasn't didn't the trailer have like heavily themed sort of Star Wars stuff going on in it
for Kingdom Hearts
for the
4,
newest one? Yeah, the newest one.
not sure. Can't remember. I remember just a giant beastie in a city.
I thought I'm recalling seeing like an AT-AT's foot or something, like the leg of it.
It could be.
The trailer.
It could be. The
Maybe
great
that
thing
was
about
like a dream I had or something.
I was going to say the great thing about Kingdom Hearts is the fact that, of course, you go into multiple worlds for multiple zones. So you could end up. So, for instance, you can go into Toy Story world. You go into Monsters Inc. world. You go into Athens. So you do Hercules, and you go into the world of Tangled. There's so many different worlds that you jump into, and you can choose to go into.
Have they done any more?
Pirates of the Caribbean, they've done. I don't think they've done
You know-
Marvel in it yet.
You know, you
They
mentioning
couldn't,
you're
yeah.
mentioning Disney and stuff, and you're mentioning Pirates of the Caribbean. I had that one in my head. Maybe a new DLC for Sea of Thieves with Pirates
Oh,
of
that's
the
a good
Caribbean.
shout. That's a
Yeah.
good shout. And another kind of an additional one because they've said they'd happily work
Yeah.
together again. The last one was so popular and so successful.
Yeah.
We would love to see it. I absolutely loved what they did with the Pirates Life. That was such a good DLC. And again, you can still play it today. So if you haven't already played it, play through it because it's so enjoyable. It's really well done. But yes, there's so much. Phanto
Yeah,
says Disney Princess MMA fighting.
That would be pretty awesome. Heck yeah! Watching the prisoners beat each other up. I mean, they
Snow
made
White just sleeping the whole time.
they made a Simpsons fighting game, so wrestling game, wasn't it? So they can make it. They can.
And Disney own
Yeah.
Simpsons now as well.
Yeah, because of
They own Fox.
Oh man,
So
they own
there's-
everything.
Yep.
I could sit here for ages and probably think of all the Fox properties that were really popular that they could bring back and make games.
yeah, they
of.
own pretty much everything now. Disney own they own Fox, Marvel, Disney, of course. But Fox had a lot of stuff. Of course, that's why they got the Alien IP. They got the Simpsons.
You know, they could bring up also those classic arcade games, from back in the day, like the Simpsons arcade game, the Alien vs Predator arcade game, all those cool classic arcade
Hit
games.
and Run.
Yeah, Hit and Run was another one from Fox. What was it? Those classic arcade games, the X-Men arcade game too. That was another good one.
Yeah, there's so much. So it's Friday is going to be a very interesting day. They're going to be the first one that Disney do as a showcase, but Disney are never, put it this way, if you haven't seen a D23 event before, they pile a lot of information on you. A lot of new updates. They're not shy about giving really far out updates about projects. When they announced the next Marvel phase, they told you about projects that weren't coming out until 2026, and kind of the roadmap of what they're producing.
Will we see gameplay or probably more on the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? Is it?
I think that's took a little bit of a step back. There was a few development
Yeah, it
issues
changed
there.
hands, right? Development team
Yeah,
changed, if I'm correct.
yeah. So I think that might be pushed back till next year, maybe, and they'll showcase it then. But you never know; they might have something ready to show, or at least a little trailer to say that like it's underway or something. But yeah, it wasn't in a good place last time, so we know it changed hands, new developers. So you never know. Certainly going to be
I'm really looking
interesting.
forward to Friday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
We never know.
certainly going to be interesting.
Well, the whole weekend's going to be huge for Disney and Marvel.
Oh, massive, massive! It's great.
Star
You know what it
Wars,
is.
of
It's
course.
and we said this the other week as well. Though it's when next year is going to be insane. If Disney do another one of these next year as well, we've got the return of some of Games Fest, the return of E3, because E3 is coming back now, physically and digitally. The return of Gamescom, the E3 event. The Disney event. You've got Tokyo Game Show, which Microsoft are taking part in again this year with another live stream. Which, of course, coincidentally, speaking of Game Pass earlier on, they have mentioned in a blog post as well for Game Pass subscribers to keep an eye on the Tokyo Game Show event for further additions.
I expect a lot of maybe Japanese IP games going into Game Pass. Not the exact day. There'll probably be some surprises, but for over the coming weeks, months, I expect there to be a lot of games coming to Game Pass that are by Japanese developers.
Yes.
And that's probably why they're telling people to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's so next year is going to be packed. And of course, we still have the Game Awards this year. So we've got the Disney event, followed by Tokyo Game Show, and then followed by, of course, the close of the year, the Game Awards. So there's still 3 huge gaming announcements there, and Sony haven't even said anything yet. So you never know. Do Sony pipe up and have an event this year, or do they just skip this year altogether? We never
I
know.
personally don't see them having an event.
It's getting late.
Surely they would have announced it by now. It's
Yeah.
this month has been a year since their last event. Normally they would have announced it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah, but
strange.
you never know with maybe surprises, like
Mm.
just something out of the blue. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Insomniac did just also announce they're doing a live stream for Spider-Man. I don't think it's the sequel. Maybe they'll talk a little bit about that. But if
No.
that's the case, that really makes me think even more that we ain't getting a Sony event this year, because surely, if there was, they'd save that for their own event.
Yeah.
Because I think they will show something, because I think they still got probably coming up to talk about the God of War game that's coming out.
They'll show that off in a state of play, without a
State of
doubt.
Play,
but
yeah.
their big event, I don't see happening this year.
Mm.
Maybe early next year.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Who knows?
I mean,
But yes.
like their state of plays, they like to announce things like the week before.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that with their big event. Usually they like to generate a little bit more hype around it, and they announce it maybe a month before. But we're on the 7th now of September, and we still haven't seen nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit strange, a bit quiet. But still lots of games coming. Still got 3 major events outside of Sony with, thankfully, Tokyo Game Show, the Disney Showcase, and the Game Awards. So that's going to be awesome.
I do have a quick question though.
Yes.
Obviously, you're not yourself, Dutch, a huge fan of the MCU. Do you expect that Marvel are now pushing to expand the Marvel Cinematic Universe from TV and movies into games as well, so they're all
Yes.
intertwined? That's a question for all of you.
Yeah, I think so. I think they see, and again, I think it's not just they see it, but I think they know the value of the gaming sector. They can see how big gaming is. Like, to put it bluntly, no matter how much money Disney make off their films, gaming sector still trumps them. Like, by so much. Like, the gaming sector is so far ahead of movies. It's insane. And it will remain that way. And I think Disney love money. Let's put it that way. Disney posts billions and billions of profit every year.
We all do. They should send us some too.
And they're also still one of the only companies that reinvest that profit back into like expanding everything. So they'll reinvest that back into another film. They'll reinvest the money from the parks back into making the parks bigger and putting new rides in and putting new areas in. And like Disney love to grow because they know by reinvesting their profits, they're gonna make more money. And the more they invest, the bigger it'll get, and the bigger it'll get, and the bigger it'll get. So they're not
No.
daft. Disney know where money is, and they love money. So I think what they'll do
They should
now
buy
is,
Sony already, Disney.
I think as well, they took on board the mistakes they made by allowing EA to have an exclusivity on an IP when they know, I think now they know, having exclusivities for IPs that they have isn't the direction to go. They need as many awesome developers creating as many varied IPs as they can for them. Whether that
They
be
want
this
many
little like
fingers in their
Mickey
pie.
game, or whether it be a huge Marvel game, or anything in between. They want them from the ground up, and that's why we see Disney Dreamlight Valley now on the store. Like that's a family game, and that's going straight into Game Pass. So I think personally, for me anyway, I think Disney know where the money is, but they also have seen what's happened in the past when they've not done things correctly, and now they see how to do it correctly by essentially farming the IPs out to loads of different developers, big and small, and letting them all come up with creative, awesome things instead of just having EA do it.
That was the biggest mistake they made, allowing EA to be the holders of the Star Wars IP in games.
Yeah.
It's good they took it away from them, because now we've got, as much as I'm not really a huge fan of Ubisoft, there's a game being made by them. I think there's at least 5 other studios working on Star Wars properties.
Yeah.
Yes, EA are still working on their stuff. Respawn is working on like 3 Star Wars properties, if I'm correct. Games, I mean, not properties.
Yeah. And rightfully so,
Kind of
because they did an
hoping.
awesome job.
And I'll tell you something though, General. I mean, look how. I mean, Disney Plus came when 3 years ago. Was it in 2019? Is when Disney
think
Plus
so,
came
yeah.
out. And
Yeah,
look what
something like that.
and look what they did. They grabbed their content and they're taking advantage of it. I mean,
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, what took Netflix 25 years to do, Disney has already surpassed them in 3 years. I mean,
Yep.
the other day it came out that Disney already surpassed them in subscription numbers. That's insane in just 3 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
because
Because
they've got the IP.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not only that, they got probably one of the best. I mean, you got Star Wars, you got Indiana, you got but we said the Marvel universe, and pretty much I'll be honest with you, and I've been saying this for a while. I like more the TV series idea than movies. Like for example, they should make a Predator TV series. They should like for Child's Play, they're already making a TV series, which is not that bad either.
Yeah.
That's
I
another good
will
TV series.
criticize Disney on
Yeah.
one thing though, with
On
their
what?
TV shows. A
What?
lot of the episodes are very short. She-Hulk, like the episodes are around about 23 to 25 minutes long. The credits are like 7 minutes long, and the intro
Ooh.
for that show is like 2 minutes long.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, where's the balance here?
Yeah.
Like they stretch their seasons out, they shorten their episodes.
I mean, look just by Obi-Wan and all that stuff. And so, if they grab and they get their content into gaming, which all of a sudden, look, I mean, they announced they're going to show a game show this Friday.
Yeah, I
They
mean, I
announced
don't think
what-
anyone sat there and thought we'd
No,
ever see
no.
a showcase from Disney and
We,
Marvel.
we never thought that Disney would actually do that. That was the first time I was like, whoa, that sounds interesting. I can't wait to see it. It's because
Yeah.
it's going to be
To
super
me,
interesting.
it seems like Disney are taking gaming very seriously now.
Yeah.
Obviously, do their own showcase is a statement to that.
Of
and
course, totally
If,
agree.
if people don't think Disney are not looking around and going, what can we buy in gaming so we can make this ourselves, rather
they-
than putting our IP out to so many other studios,
Yeah.
we could start doing some in-house stuff too. I mean, they've got a vast amount of IP where they're going to have to go out to other studios and do stuff anyway. But if
But
you
you-
don't think they're sitting there thinking, if we can get some big companies under our own belt, gaming wise, making content for us, the best content we could possibly make gaming wise, you got
No.
another thing coming. I
But-
think honestly, Disney are looking at some big companies.
But here's the thing though, if Disney goes into that, it's gonna cost them a lot of money, a lot of time to
They've
develop.
got the
So
money
it's
to do it.
it's probably way better for the other guys to buy their or get or rent their content, pay them for the content and just make their own game,
True,
It's
but
better.
Disney
It's
they
true.
own
It's
a
a
lot of
lot.
money.
Oh, I know they do, but getting into gaming, it's like a whole new thing for them. It's gonna take them a while, to get.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, it's going to take them a while.
Well, it's
But
gonna take them a while,
they're
yeah.
they're looking to expand into gaming. I've got
Yeah.
that feeling. It's a strong feeling
Yeah.
because I can honestly see Disney Plus becoming the first all-in-one entertainment service provider for subscription
Oh,
service.
Oh, what they can do is they can add their games to Disney Plus day one, and somebody just
Mhm,
get on there and play
exactly.
it. Yeah, that's what they
Exactly.
can do. From the sell it to the other guys, and if you have Disney Plus, you can play it day one on there,
100%.
like Game Pass.
100%. To round off the show today, we're going to be talking about the littlest topic of them all. And that is, of course, the announcement from Xbox today that the Elite Series 2 controller is going into design labs, ready to be shipped out later this year. So, of course, just in time for the holidays. Of course, that came along with the announcement, of course, of what they call the Core controller. So essentially, it is the Elite controller without all of the additional kind of paddles and things like that, and all of the switches and things that you'll be able to buy separately. So essentially, you can buy an Elite controller with all the additions. Still cost you the same amount. Or you can buy the Core controller, which essentially would mean for those who already have an Elite controller, you already have the additional buttons, you already have all the extras, the bumpers, the triggers and everything. So they're saying, oh, you get this new Elite Series 2 in any color you want. It doesn't come with all the paddles and things. You'll be able to buy those separately. However, of course, it's aimed more at those who have an Elite Series 2 because they'll be able to use the paddles and charge things from that controller.
Yeah,
If they
I
just
mean,
want one.
honestly, it appeals more to me
Yeah.
because I don't use the paddles. I find them uncomfortable and annoying, so
Yeah.
I don't bother with them.
And it is, judging by the pricing as well, it's $129, which would, in normal terms anyway, in the UK, before we had this recession, etc., would put it around about the £100 mark, which is about £50 cheaper than the regular Elite Series 2, which, of course, drops the price down significantly. And, of course, for the likes of General C, you can get it in a glorious purple. Jen, what do you make
You
of
know
this?
it.
What do you make of this news?
As soon as I'm able to, I'm getting it in purple without a doubt. So yeah, I've been wanting this for a long time. I just wish that they would take that and apply it to the consoles as well, because then I could get myself a purple Xbox Series X, which I really want.
Yes, yeah, and of course we've seen. I've personally seen with disassembling these consoles just how easy, they are to not only to disassemble, but it is literally two parts. So the Series X and the Series S have. So the Series X, you have the back panel which comes off, and then you can access the interior. And on the Series S, you have the bottom panel that comes off, and you can then access the interior. So there are only two panels. You've got the main chunk case, and then the back panel on each of them. So it's essentially two parts. So Design Labs theoretically should be relatively easy to have just the core of the console ready to rock and roll. You select the shell that you want to put on it, and then push it out. You should be able to do that. I don't think it's going to be too long in the future until they start doing Design Labs consoles. To be fair, I think as soon as they've got on top of worldwide distribution and numbers and things like that, and when it's pretty much always in stock, always. So I'm maybe thinking about another year or so down the line. I think that's when we could see a Design Labs console. But Louis, what do you make of this news?
I'm actually really happy about it because yeah, elite controllers are a little bit expensive. Making you a simple one. Let's say if you have the old one, which like you have like 2 or 3 years with it, and all of a sudden it's just not working right. You have a cheaper version to get a new elite controller, and you already have the back pedals there, so you don't have to and all the other options on there, so you don't have to buy a full elite controller. So yeah, I find that's a good move they made, and I'm really happy that you can get any color you want, which is pretty awesome. That's something that's pretty fantastic. So yeah, it has me really, really, really happy, especially me because I don't know why I have some things with the controllers, they don't last me too long. Yeah, so I'm actually happy because yeah, I want to get a new elite controller.
What color will you gonna go for?
What color would I go for? Can I select two colors, or you can only select one color?
I'm not sure yet, but at the moment, just say the shell. What color shell are you gonna go
Hmm.
for?
Hmm. I will go for red.
Red.
I'll go for red. Yeah, red. Yeah, I will go for red.
Awesome stuff. You're muted.
What I was going to say was, do you think that you'll have the option to not have paddles in the design lab as well?
Yeah, the Design Lab one is automatically as the core. So you don't get the paddles or anything. You can that's an add-on. So you add the paddles and
Yeah,
things on
that's good.
separately.
That'll appeal to me. Just as long as I can get like the entire rubber grips around the front of the controller, and I'll be all over that. In
Yes.
purple, of course.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Pat, you. What about yourself, brother? Does the a new Elite Series 2 Design Labs excite you? You're muted.
First it was me, now it's Pat.
Yep, there it is. No, like I actually never like ordered something there, from
From
Design
Design
Labs.
Labs. Oh, such
Yeah.
great controllers from Design Labs.
I seen a lot of great things, especially on social media, on Twitter, of course. A lot of people posting their designs, and like, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, the Elite Series 2, of course, it's really nice that they added this controller now for the Design Labs. But like, I don't know, I have so many controllers here, so it's and I have my own Elite Series controller,
Yeah.
the one from you, Dutch. So
Yeah.
that's good. But like I said, it's really nice that they added this to the Design Labs, and for those that well, I for sure it's gonna be a good one to design. But one thing I hope it's that I think I said it before is that they need to add something about the design. Like maybe you can like add a picture or like a character or something like that on your controller.
Yeah.
Not only like a basic color and then with a small text that you cannot like even read
Yeah.
really good, but like actually get some kind of picture avatar on it. And
Yeah.
that would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be next level if you could add that on. Just literally
Yeah.
any image you want. Boom. There we go.
Yeah,
Design that.
yeah, exactly.
Now, that would be
That
awesome.
would be pretty nice. No.
100%. And of
I
course,
think
like I
the
said,
problem
it
comes
is.
with that though is you'll get a lot of people out there that want to put explicit stuff on the controllers, and Microsoft will be like, no. So maybe that's why they won't do something like that.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why they don't do it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah,
thankfully
exactly.
it is like as I mentioned as well. It is cheaper than the regular Elite Series 2 because it doesn't come standard with all the odd add-ons. It doesn't come with the paddles. It doesn't come with the extra sticks or charger case or anything like that. It just comes with the controller, and you can buy the add-on separately. So it's a cheaper version of getting it. Of course, you've still got the stick tensioning. You've still got the adjustable sticks. So you still get the pro feel of it. You still get the D-pad and changeable D-pad. But what you don't get is the additional length sticks or the paddles. So there's that. There's extra. Of course, you don't get the charging case for it either. But again, you can buy that separately. So The bonus, I think, as well, with the fact that you'll be able to buy the charging case and all the additions separately, is for those that might have lost something or damaged the original case they've got, or lost a thumbstick, or lost some paddles, or cables broken, whatever it is. I think it's a good thing that now they're going to be selling those parts separately to the controller anyway. It means those who have issues with the controller or have lost parts can replace them. That's something you
I mean, it
couldn't
would
have
be
done
really
before.
cool if they went to the extra extent and then allowing you to have a custom case as well to go with the custom.
That would be
controller.
awesome. We've seen, obviously, you know what the Halo one's like, because the Halo case is awesome. That ODST green case with a symbol on it for ODST and everything that goes with it. That would be awesome. That would be another level, but I think that would be a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure there'll be people out there that'll make their own custom cases for you, like on Etsy or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But yes, it's been an absolute. There we go. Right on time. Just as we're wrapping up the show, we've got the porn bots in.
So something did happen during the show.
Oh, go on.
I'm not 100% sure if it's confirmed, but there are multiple articles popping up. It seems like Atomic Heart is being delayed to early 2023.
Yeah, I seen something before saying it was delayed till winter, but it wasn't confirmed as to when in winter. But now apparently it's Focus Home Interactive are going to be publishing it. So it has a publisher. Of course, we know Atomic Heart had issues due to the war. So it has a publisher outside of those war zones now, or affected countries. So they're going to be publishing it, and it is 2023, so that's been pushed back until next year as well. For those of you who had Stalker 2 pre-ordered, you now have officially had your pre-orders cancelled, of course, with the delay. For those of you worrying, don't worry. The problem was Stalker 2 still had a December 2022 release date on the store, and it hadn't changed, and I hadn't updated it. The only way to change it and to put it as an unconfirmed date, because of course it isn't confirmed as to what date in 23 it's coming out yet, is to cancel the pre-orders and amend the store appropriately. So it's just because, of course, they couldn't update from its original December release date. And I've had this before with the Ubisoft game that came out when it had the Riders Republic. When that was delayed, they didn't update the store. So the store was still saying that the game was out, even though the game wasn't out. It was delayed till the year after. And so obviously people's pre-orders were still going through when it shouldn't have done. So, of course, from Xbox's side, they've just cancelled the pre-orders for Stalker 2. When they have an official date, they'll put that back up and you'll be able to pre-order it again. But, yeah. But yeah, so Atomic Heart officially delayed until 2023, unfortunately. Winter, though, does sound like it won't be too far into 23. That sounds like it's still going to be the very beginning of the year, January, February time, maybe. Which would, I don't know whether or not it's a good thing or bad thing for Atomic Heart, because that is a cluttered time of year. January, February, March, April is rammed full of games.
I think a lot of those games are going to be pushed back even further, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. It's too oversaturated that time of year.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But that wraps up today. A little bit of a shorter show, but again, thankfully it was a shorter show with 99% positive news and a tiny little sprinkling of negative at the end there. But of course, at least it's out in the open. Everybody knows now. Not to say we don't have millions of games to look forward to the tail end of the year, because there's a lot coming out still. Still got Plague Tale Requiem, still got High on Life, still got Callisto Protocol, still got Metal Hellsinger. We've got loads of games coming up so far.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. So let's go. But again, thank you to everybody who joined us in chat today. Awesome to see everyone's faces again there. Thank you for joining us. And again, for those who didn't watch live and be watching on catch up on demand, hope you enjoyed the show as well. For those of you who are here, and those of you who are watching on demand, please make sure you drop a like, share it out, and subscribe if you don't already. Every little helps, of course, to push us further and keep growing and keep doing what we do every week. And of course, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing without yourselves. But let's get into the outros first and foremost. Our guest for today, you've got an awesome guest as well lined up this evening, brother. Crazy Louis Gaming. Let people know where they can find you and the awesome guest you've got on tonight.
Oh man, tonight we got Danny Pena on the show. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight on Xbox International, the Crazy Louis Gaming YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Like we do each and every single week. Me, my brother Sourblue, and Silent Cypher talk about what's going on in the gaming world. And you guys can also find me in Twitter at the Crazy Louis Gaming Twitter account, where I do all my good morning videos and say what's up to everybody. And Dutch, thank you again for inviting me to the show. It was a lot of fun, brother.
You're
Thank
welcome.
thank
You're
so
welcome,
much.
brother. So yes, if people don't already know, go over to Crazy Louis' YouTube channel. Tonight on Xbox International, they will have Danny Pena, of course, who's obviously a huge Latin American Xbox content creator. If you haven't heard of him, I don't know how. Twitter handle you will know him from as Godfrey. Really huge guy. Massive shout out to you guys for getting him on the show. That's big news for you guys. So if you, of course, make sure you don't miss that later on this evening on Xbox International with Crazy Louis, Silent Cypher, and of course Sourblue. It's going to be an awesome show. So make sure to stop up for that. It's late on for all of us guys in Europe, of course. 1 a.m. for Pat. I know he might wake up by that point and be lurking around. I've seen it. I've seen it before.
No. Yeah. There were some moments I jumped in like 2 a.m. in the morning and see you on Boom Show. Yeah,
but yes,
true.
for everybody in the UK, that is midnight, of course. And for yourselves, I do believe it is it 7 p.m. Eastern? It is, isn't it?
For us?
Yes.
Yeah, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Eastern, yeah.
Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Awesome stuff. Brilliant. Next up, of course, Pat, you let people know when what you've got coming up and when you're going to be streaming next. I know it's probably going to be Battlefield.
Yeah, just wanted to say that, guys. Probably this weekend. Not Saturday, probably, because I have the birthday of my nephew's daughter, so Saturday is off. Probably Friday will be live under Twitch /Petu070, as it says right here. Battlefield, maybe some other games, who knows. As you guys know, and if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I recently won a Saints Row package from Xbox Netherlands. Big shout out to you guys. Thanks for letting me win it. But I will be receiving that tomorrow, and we have an unboxing video coming up on the channel. So yeah, make sure to tune in then. But yeah, that's basically it.
That's
Awesome
We'll be
stuff.
live this weekend.
Looking
So
forward to that.
yeah, I'm
Seeing
looking
the
forward to this
unboxing.
package because I see some nice stuff on there. So
Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Awesome stuff. And of course, if you don't already follow him on Twitter, you can go and follow him down. Again, at Patro070, Pat070 on Twitter as well. So do that. Last but not least, of course, the General C. Let people know where they can find you this week, brother, and what you're going to be doing next.
I'll be back to streaming tomorrow. Hunt Showdown. I haven't actually played Hunt Showdown this week yet, so be back to that tomorrow. My Twitch channel, the _general_c, same as my Twitter account. I'm considering getting back into YouTube content creation soon. I have a few ideas that I'm circling around in my head at the moment, so
Nice.
probably a YouTube return soon. But yeah, other than that, back here on Sunday, and obviously Saturday as well, I stream my channel.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And last but not least, from myself, of course, you can find me on Primetime Gaming this evening as well. You'll be finding me tomorrow on Boxenberger's World of Gaming. Of course, the topics and things haven't been announced yet. He doesn't get back till pretty late on over there either. So it'll be pretty straight in, talk about the topics straight out because he's just got back from holiday tomorrow. So So it'll pretty last minute, but we are doing a show. So World of Gaming with Boxenberger tomorrow. On Friday, you'll be back here with ourselves, of course, doing the live reaction to the Marvel Disney Game Showcase. And again on Sunday, we'll be back with the weekend edition where we'll be talking about TV series that we're watching. So both Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings series, we'll be talking about, of course, Thor: Love and Thunder, which we're both watching this week as well, which is coming on to Disney Plus tomorrow.
Tomorrow, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Disney Plus tomorrow.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah.
The new Thor: Love and
It's
Thunder
It's
tomorrow on
coming out
Disney Plus.
tomorrow. Ooh.
Yep.
Yep, on Disney Plus. I
Can't
haven't
wait.
had a chance to see it myself at all yet.
Haven't either.
So yes, and
looking
of
forward to
course, any gaming news, including D23 news, of course, we'll be reacting and talking about all the news from D23 and the Marvel Disney Showcase as well. So again, once more, thanks to everybody for jumping in this evening and watching us and listening to us. It's been an absolute blast. I hope you have an awesome evening. Enjoy your games. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see you all again next week for the Midweek Mix-Up podcasts. Good night, guys.
Hey guys.
Later, guys.
See you later.